go, turn it up, let it start. From block to block, we snatching hearts and jacking marks. And the
Wednesday. Wow, I'm off by day. It's Wednesday, October 10th, 2018. My name's Eddie Law. Welcome to the Morning Toke. And I'm probably going to talk about some shit you already heard of, especially if you're in the MMA world. So, brace yourself for some of the same old shit that's going on. It's whatever's on my mind. So, anyway, the unfortunate news yesterday. Actually, first of all, it was fortunate news and then it was unfortunate news, right? Not even fortunate, just weird news. But a better main event that we were going to get for UFC 230, right? Derek Lewis is going to challenge Daniel Cormier for the heavyweight title in Madison Square Garden at the main event of UFC 230. It's a weird fight, to say the least. I thought if they were gonna hold off on the Brock fight, it'd be Stipe. Now it's going to be Derek Lewis, who's coming off, and it makes sense in the aspect of he just made a big impression on people, right? But, you know, smart money, and I mean really smart money, says Daniel Cormier just, you know, gasses him out and then takes him down and beats him up and probably chokes him out, right? That's the smart money. The other side of that is, does Derek Lewis have another last second holy shit, win in the bag? If you can imagine Derek Lewis somehow knocking out Daniel Cormier, okay? Just imagine it. Like, there goes the Brock Lesnar fight. More than it's possible the John Jones fight has gone there. Like, it's a risk for DC, but I'm assuming he's that confident in himself, that defending against Derek Lewis isn't even a problem for him. I'm sure he'll still train his ass off for him, but still, like, when I hear Derek Lewis against Daniel Cormier, I don't hear like much of a problem for DC. So it's a main event. It's better, in my opinion, than Shevchenko Eubanks, who, by the way, has been moved to the Toronto card and is no longer against Eubanks. It's Shevchenko against Joanna Jędrzejczyk again. Say that 10 times, 5 times fast, 3 times fast, 2 times fast. We're crying that. But that Eubanks has lost that fight, and I think Eubanks tweeted out, like, had Dana White, I think Sean Shelby, like, you guys are playing with my life or something like that, or whatever. I don't feel bad much for Eubanks. She should have known that it's like, oh, that's crazy that she got the title shot. She probably should have known, but she was probably really happy about it. Had begun her training camp and all sorts of shit. So it sucks for her big time, for real. But the main event is a little more legit, especially coming off the fact that Derek Lewis has made a big impression at 229, right? So that's our main event. The bad news, first of all, the other thing I had is I remember Derek Lewis talking about a hand injury, and like, his eyes were fucked up after that fight. He got hit in the eye like a shit ton of times. So I'm wondering if there's any damage to that orbital bone that DC might take advantage of in that fight. So let's say DC knocks him out, people are going to be, saying shit like, well, he was already injured, Derek Lewis should. And no, believe me, they're going to say that anyway. That's a good point. They're going to say that shit anyway, so fuck it. You know what I mean? I'm just glad Derek Lewis gets fucking paid. Like, I hope he gets paid. Right? Like, I feel good when the fighters get paid, for real. Even if it's a fight that probably didn't deserve a shot or a title shot or whatever. And I might shit on the fight itself a little bit, but I am never against fighters getting some coin. That's always fucking, like, awesome. So, good for Derek Lewis. Not to mention, that dude already has a bunch of money. But, like, this is just like, solidifying his family's future, which is awesome. So, yeah, good for him. Good for DC for getting the fight in before the Brock Lesnar fight, should have even happened. So, the bad news is Dustin Poirier is pulled out of UFC 230 with an injury, unspecified injury, whatever the fuck that means. And Nate has been pulled off the card as well, according to sources. So, he's off the card. Although, Nate did go, well, let me get Khabib then. And he called out Khabib and also this shit. And, I mean, we good and goddamn well know the UFC's not giving a Diaz brother a title shot, much less Nate coming off, I think, the Conor loss. And, I mean, shit, they were going to make Poirier. Look, they make silly belts for everybody else, but not Nate Diaz. So they were not going to give Nate and Poirier the interim belt at 55 or the, much less the a brand new division belt for the 165 division. That doesn't exist yet. Although Conor made a really good point. He's like, I think they should be by 10s, 155, 165, 175. I mean, I agree with that 100%. It solves the UFC's problem of having a belt on the line at every pay-per-view and shit. And then, yeah, I mean, it's all good from there, I think. But I'm wondering why they don't do it. And I think it's because they don't want so many champions, right, that they're almost unrecognizable. Like, you become boxing real quick. So, I think we're heading that way anyway. It doesn't really matter what Dana White thinks about that. So, yeah, those guys are off 2:30, which makes me less inclined to give a fuck about watching it, to be honest with you. I always look forward to watching the Nate Diaz fight because it's always a firefight. So, I don't know. I mean, let's go for the next one. I think 231. I think is the one that's in. I think that's the one that's in Toronto. Not sure, but I'm looking forward for Holloway Ortega. So that'll be fun to watch. I don't know. Maybe they'll pull something last second for this 230 card and put Nate back on, or give us at least another exciting fight. Because that would be cool. Apologize for the ums. I'm like driving while I'm doing this shit. Anyway, and don't worry, I'm driving safely. I got a microphone on, it's hands free and everything, but thinking and talking. Anyway, so according to Dana White, he said absolutely Khabib will not be stripped of his title. So that's one thing. He believes that him and Conor will get like 6-month suspensions, and that'll be it. However, the Nevada State Athletic Commission is still holding on to Khabib's $2 million check, which is fucked up. I get what he did, was messed up and everything. Fine him $250 and let's move on. $250K, right? Fine him $250, just like Dana White said, and let's fucking move on. Like, and I get a lot of people are going to be pushing against that. We need to make an example. And she was like, when's the last time you ever seen anyone make an example of anybody in the UFC other than Jason Hyde? Jason Hyde pushes the ref a tiny bit, gets banned from the UFC. You know what I mean? So they're holding on to Khabib's check. They gave Conor his purse, and now they want to sanction him too for his role in the whole thing. And here's the thing. So we did a post-fight show, right? Literally minutes after all that shit went down, after the main event. It was myself, Ashley Lamprey. And I was way more critical of Khabib than I was Conor, right? A couple days later, honestly, I don't think what Khabib did was that bad. And I'm not adopting what a lot of other people are saying, that it wasn't that bad. No, it really wasn't that bad. He went in, smacked another fighter. The worst part is what Khabib's people did. Like, his guys came in here and basically jumped the fighter. That was fucked up. But like, Khabib himself didn't really do anything that bad. So it's I think people are blowing it up now. But if they didn't go after Conor like hard for throwing a dolly through a window, endangering other fighters, taking 2 of them off the card, right? Glass shattered and everything, blood and all that shit. If you didn't go after him hard for that, why are you going to go after Khabib for what he did? Which is come out and take a swipe at another guy that's a fighter, and then he got pulled away. You can't go after him for what his team did. I mean, you could try, but that'd be bullshit. Because then you got to go back to the Conor Bus thing. He had like 40 fucking hooligans with him, but you guys from his fucking team, just as thuggish as the two guys, as the guys that Khabib had. They're all thugs, like the ones that did all the bullshit. They're thugs. They're just, pieces of crap. But, if you didn't go after, Conor for that, you can't go after Khabib for that. I mean, you can, but you look like an asshole. Straight up, like, you're going heavy on one guy than the other. So, that's something to think about. There's like mini video documentary. I don't know what the fuck to call it on YouTube called the Habib Conspiracy. I highly recommend it. It's super interesting, honestly, to me. So definitely check it out. I think a lot of people were talking about it, and I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll check it out. And I was actually all right. So I recommend it. Just Habib or Khabib, however you say it. I think it's Habib. Habib Conspiracy, the Habib Conspiracy Initiative. It'll talk about Ali Abdelaziz. It'll talk about it'll just talk about a lot of things that will make you be like, huh, what the fuck, man? Like, that's weird, you know. Anyway, all this shit to talk about. I don't know. I'm still on this Habib thing. I think we're blowing it up a little bit. I mean, they give him 10-day suspensions right now, and I think it's why they quote-unquote investigate. But a lot of people were telling me the same thing, and I agree with their point. It's like, what is it to investigate? We all fucking saw it on television, right? There's not much to investigate. They know who did what. They're just giving it time before they come down with their quote-unquote sanctions, which hopefully will be, you know, for Habib, $250. I mean, for both guys, hopefully this very minimum money. And like a 6-month sentence at best, right? Either way, Conor would have been medically suspended for 6 months, and Habib, I don't think Habib took any damage in that fight. So unfortunately, he wouldn't be available for like 230 against Nate, or you know, anytime soon against Tony, like it should be. By the way, that should be the next fight, right? Tony Ferguson against Habib Nurmagomedov. Apparently, that's not even how you say it, but that should be the next fight. Ferguson against Habib for the belt. You know, and then you do that, you could do the Nate Conor fight on the same card. That'd be legit. 3 rounds between those two. I would love a 5-rounder, but I don't really care to see Conor McGregor gas out and then make that, you know, everyone makes that excuse for him. We got tired. Alright, he got tired. It's part of the fight game. That's the thing. Like, a lot of people are like, well, he needs to go work on his cardio. Sometimes you just can't. I mean, you work on it as much as you want to, but it just doesn't improve. I'm not exactly sure the science behind all that or the genetics or anything, but sometimes like athletes will fight and fucking train their asses off in cardio and all that to try and get, you know, improve their cardio, and it just doesn't happen. You've seen it quite a few times in other sports, so it's, you know, I'm not blaming Conor for having crappy cardio. He's just, you know, and he tries at it. I mean, you always see videos of him doing that Conor fast shit and all that, you know, or maybe he legitimately thought, man, if I don't knock him out in the first 2 rounds, I'm fucked anyway, so what's the point, right? I'd like to think he didn't do that because he's a professional, and, you know, he's up there on that one of the best lightweights ever. One of them. But it's I don't know, well, I would love to see that Diaz fight, the trilogy, finish it off. Whoever wins, just finish it off. And, you know, if it's a 3-rounder, it'll be a fire fight. If it's a 5-rounder, then I'm assuming they introduce an interim belt to bring Conor back in the title picture. And then set him up for the possible Habib rematch, or set him up for a Ferguson fight. McGregor-Ferguson would be legit, although Ferguson gets hit a shitload. As we saw, Pettis broke his hand on his fucking face. You know, so that'd be... I think I don't know. I don't know which one I would prefer, because on one fight, McGregor against Habib, McGregor got dominated. And here's the thing: a lot of people are saying, like, "Oh, he didn't get that dominated." No, he got fucking dominated and then finished. Just because McGregor was able to use his butterfly hooks and not use too much energy in the first round, and then somehow he won the 3rd round because Habib took his foot up the gas, doesn't mean he didn't get dominated. Like, he got dominated. Don't get it twisted and try to make yourself feel better or sugarcoat the shit out of that. He got dominated, and then he got finished. Alright? And people are giving him shit for tapping on a neck crank. Get put in a neck crank. Like a one like the Habib was doing on him. And don't tap. I fucking dare you. Because I guarantee you tap fucking faster than Conor did. You know what I mean? Like, neck cranks are a bitch. Dude, fucking people can't drive. Anyway, but, sorry, this is fucking roundabouts. Apparently some asshole didn't know how to use them. Anyway, neck cranks fucking suck, so I don't blame him for tapping to it. That being said, I like the McTapper nickname. You know what I mean? So, also, I like the McTapper nickname, but it's not because of animosity towards Conor. I like Conor. I think he's a fun fighter to watch. I think he's a fun guy with the shit talk. Obviously, Khabib took it too fucking personal and went after his ass, but, you know, I don't dislike Conor whatsoever. I really don't. A lot of people think, there's a lot of anti-Conor people. I'm not one of them. Just because I'm critical of him doesn't mean I'm anti-Conor. It seems like these days, if you're not, oh yeah, Conor's the best ever, and all this shit, like, then you're just anti-Conor and you're a hater. It's like, nah, dude, just because I'm critical of the guy doesn't mean that I hate him. I don't. I enjoy watching his fights quite clearly. I tune in for all his fights. So, you know what I mean? So, what I don't understand is this, like, negativity people have towards certain fighters. Like, I think there's one dude on Twitter. I forget his name, and honestly, I probably would throw it out there because I don't really care for people to, going after him or whatever, because it'd be stupid. But he was on there saying, like, when Poirier pulled out, he's like, yeah, now Nate doesn't. I don't know. First of all, when the Derek Lewis fight got announced, he's like, yeah, now Nate doesn't get pay-per-view points. And I'm like, well, dude, if it's in his contract to get pay-per-view points, like, he'll still get them. If it's in his contract. He's like, oh, well, at least, well, no, there's 2 title fights, he won't get them. They're not going to give 4 fighters pay-per-view points. And I'm like, oh, no, Shevchenko fight's on another card now. So he's a co-main. Oh, well, at least it's not for a belt or a main event. And I'm like, I'm sitting there reading this shit, and I'm just like, okay, like, I like the fight. I remember I had to go and talk with the dude. I was like, I like the fight the way it is, actually. It'd be great for it to be a 5-rounder, but I don't mind this fight at all like this. Never replied to that one. It was, just nitpicking, just picking at straws, like little things, just trying to find yeah, fuck that guy, and yeah, but I'm like, why would you hate on someone? You don't even know the guy. You're just hating on him because you're a Conor fan. I get it, and you want to stick up for your guy. And so then, but instead of sticking up for your guy, you're going after a guy, another person or another person's fans, I guess, another fighter's fans, for I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing to see. It's kind of gross. I'm assuming this guy was like a kid. I'm not 100% sure, but he sounds like a child, maybe like a teenager, right? But I mean, I don't know. It was just a weird thing to see. I've never wished ill on any fighter really ever. I can't think of any of them. Any time that I've ever said, like, yeah, no, he doesn't get this, he doesn't get that. I honestly don't care. Honestly, I don't care about pay-per-view buys. You know what I mean? Like, everyone goes, like, you hear a card get announced and you see the main event, and they're like, oh man, that's not gonna do anything on pay-per-view buys. And I sit there going, when's the last time that affected you personally? Do you get pay-per-view buys? You know what I mean? Like, are you getting paid $50, $60, whatever the pay-per-view is? Are you getting paid $60 to watch the pay-per-view? No? Alright, then shut the fuck up and enjoy the matchup, dickhead. Like, it's just weird that people give a shit about pay-per-view buys. Now, if the argument is, like, will the UFC make this matchup? Then you can say, like, well, I don't think they'll do it because they're worried about their money, and I don't think it does that many buys. That's an argument. Not, oh, well, I can't believe they did that fight. Now they're not gonna get any pay-per-view buys. I don't give a fuck if the UFC makes any money. Honestly, don't. You know what I mean? Those contracts with the fighters are solid, so they're gonna get paid. The fighters are gonna get paid what the contract says. As long as the fighters get paid, I'm cool. I don't give a fuck if Dana White goes home with any extra coin, or not the Fertitas, or Endeavor, or anybody else. I don't give a shit about pay-per-view buys. If it's a sick matchup, I don't give a fuck. I miss the days when it was a main event that wasn't pay-per-view. That was the best. You know what I mean? Like, I think the last one we got was actually Nate versus Conor at 196. There was no belt for that. It was just a sick fucking fight. Right? So it's just, to me, it's irritating that fans give a shit about pay-per-view buys. Like, I don't really care for it. Wow, this lady got bold. You gotta love people driving. Go, you fucking pussy. God damn. Wow, no wonder you're a pussy. The whole back end of your car is missing. Jesus Christ. This dude just took a U-turn right in front of me, and I was like, go ahead, dude. What the fuck's what's your deal? And, like, the whole back end of his car is fucking gone. I'm like, oh, that's your deal. Got it. It's kind of hilarious. Like, but, anyway. All right. That's my rant on UFC shit today. And I honestly have been avoiding like politics like a motherfucker because I'm just tired of it. Like I like to watch the local news to see what's going on around the city, right? And there was legit 4 smear ads. So there's like, you know, they give you like 5 minutes of actual content and like 10-15 minutes of like ads. There was 4 like straight smear ads. And then you get the next segment. And I'm just like, what in the fucking hell, dude? Like, I hope their ratings go down because of that shit. Like, I turned it off immediately. I stopped watching. I can't stand smear ads. And I don't think I said this shit before, but now it's, like, really irritating. I can't stand smear ads because all you're telling me is why I shouldn't vote for that person. You know, and that I should vote for you, so I vote against them. Like, and I'm not going to do that because you're not telling me why I should vote for you. And the one that's pissing me the fuck off the most is this Martha McSally bitch. And I say bitch because at this point she's acting like one. Right? There's no respect for this chick, none whatsoever. Like, she's ruined all that shit. Like when she first came out as a candidate, it was like, you know, she's a, you know, veteran, and she led squadrons in the Air Force and all sorts of stuff, and that's great, awesome, like, cool. I can respect that, but she destroyed all of that with these smear ads that she refuses to take credit for, and then she does her own that actually take credit for. Like, it's the same shit the smear ads are saying. But then she goes, yeah, I approve this message. Like, well, then you take the other ones too, right? Cool. But she's gotten such a dirty-ass campaign. It's like, yo. And mind you, all politicians run dirty campaigns to a certain degree. But she's going all in on this Kristen Sinema chick, who I honestly don't really care for either. Right? But she's not going out there smearing this fucking McSally chick. She's not going after her on some smear ads and shit. Just like dirty-ass shit. Taking things out of context. I mean, imaging and language is everything when it comes to advertising, right? So they use the least flattering views that you can find of cinema, or, you know, pictures, photos, video of her, and they put it up there, and they take, you know, anything she says out of context. They take past things and blow them up like they were brand new, like pop issues that came up before. It's just constant bullshit, right? That tells me more about your character. That you just go, all you're doing is putting out smear ads. That tells me more about your character than anything she did, and I can't have that. So, yeah, I'm not voting for Martha McSally, and I honestly hope she loses. She learns a fucking lesson that literally nobody can tell you what she's for. Like, nobody can tell you what she's for, right? Because all she's been telling us is why we shouldn't vote for the other chick, and that's fucking irritating. And any politician that does that is losing my vote fucking fast. Because that's a lot about your character. Like, you're doing that to somebody else like that, what else are you willing to do that's fucking dirty and slimy and gross? You know? But anyway, alright, that's gonna do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, Keyboard Warriors live. I think it's 118 or 119, I'm not sure. But Keyboard Warriors live, myself, Rick Kirby, just hit the workout. We'll be talking about UFC 230. We'll be talking about 229, the aftermath. And I think there's a Combate Americas thing that we get that's coming up. What else is there? A lot of shit going down. Hopefully we'll get some more news today. It's you know, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Like, I don't know. This UFC, this MMA world of ours. Oh, the Bellator stuff. I think 20. Fuck, I forget the numbers that they're doing, but it's like 207, 208 coming up real fucking fast. Chael Sonnen against Fedor, Mitrione against Bader. That's honestly 2 exciting fights because you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. It is light heavyweights against heavyweights at this point, or 185ers when it comes to Chael Sonnen, right? But it is light heavyweights against heavyweights, so it's an exciting thing to see. Can Ryan Bader, you know, hurt Matt Mitrione and take him down or whatever? And what can Chael Sonnen do against Fedor? That'll be interesting to see. You know what I mean? Because I think Chael Sonnen can take Fedor down. I don't know if he can keep him down, and I certainly don't know if Chael Sonnen can take a shot from Fedor, even at this age. Fedor still hits like a Mack truck, or if Fedor could take a shot from Chael Sonnen. It's honestly interesting fights. It really is. So, all right, guys, we'll catch you guys tonight. Have a good day, have a good evening, good night, depending on where you're at on the planet. See you guys tonight.
lo calmo